What is good, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good Thursday right now. What I'm doing right now is actually trying to, okay, bet. So I'm actually going to go live on Instagram as well. So today I am going live on more platforms. I wanted to test it out and really see like how many I could do at the same time. So I'm pulling up the group because the group is the one that normally I can't see the comments or who's commenting. So I'm going and pulling up that one so I can see it. But right now, I am live streaming on Raheem Cannon Facebook page, my Raheem A. Cannon business page, my Cannon Movement business page, or group page, and then also the business page, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. So that's like 8 different platforms at the same time that we're casting. So I'm really excited to test it out, see how it is. I got some topics that I want to talk about today that we'll go through. As you guys come in, I ask you to please comment where you guys are listening from. And hey, appreciate that, T. I appreciate that, brother. I want to pull out the blue one today. I know I did the black one last time. So, if we're going to run it back, might as well hit him with the blue. Might have to hit him with the gray next time. So we'll see what happens with it. But I appreciate you guys locking in and tuning in today. So we got a couple topics I want to talk about. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you're definitely going to be tapped into this one because we're going to talk about your core audience, how you're appealing to your core audience right now, what you're doing. If you understand what your core audience is, and we're going to go through that. We're going to talk about automation. We're going to talk about content creation and just how to consistently put out content and the way that the algorithm kind of works when it comes around there. I've been doing YouTube and TikTok and all these different platforms. So I'm going to talk about some of my experience with that and some of the best practices I've used so far. Not saying, obviously I don't have a million followers anywhere or anything like that, but I've been using it and I've been kind of seeing success with certain things. So I definitely want to just share those tips and hopefully they can help you out and maybe springboard you to what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to get done. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I did see a stat that it was like 42% obesity in United States right now, which I thought was crazy. I didn't know that was, even a stat. I didn't, it just caught me off guard. So I said, we're going to talk about that today. So those are the things I want to hit on today. I kind of, titled it and everything so you guys know. As you guys come in, as you guys are watching, I would love it if you guys can tell me where you guys are watching from. I am broadcasting from Florida. So if you guys can tap in, let me know where you're watching from. I'd appreciate it. And let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. Can you see everything well? Can you hear me well? Because it's important because I'm going to be using this footage to chop up and make reels on. So I want to make sure you guys can definitely hear me well. So here we go. Here we go. All right, it's popping up now. Perfect. Good. So we got my brother Evans tapped in. I appreciate you tapping in from Georgia. Diamond tapped in from Midway, Georgia. I appreciate you guys. Always love from the hometown area. You know what I mean? It's always love. If anyone doesn't know, I'm actually originally from Hinesville, Georgia. We always just say it's Savannah area because it's, it's all one thing and most people know it off of that. So I appreciate you guys that tapped in from my hometown, man. It's always love. People always say they don't get love from their hometown, but I feel like I've always gotten love from my hometown and my people. And, it's just, I always want to reciprocate that. I appreciate it, T. Thank you for letting me know that the audio is good, the image is clear. And I appreciate that, Evans. All right, so we got a couple people in here now. We're going to go ahead and tap into the first topic. So, you know what? Before I get into that topic, I'm going to talk about something that I just watched today. It was a documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen this documentary or if you heard of this player, but it's an NBA player called Giannis, the Greek Freak. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name, but you know what? Forget it. It's live. I'm going to try to pronounce it. So it's Antetokounmpo. I think I did that, hopefully. But anyways, I just watched this documentary. It's on Amazon Prime for free. If you have Amazon Prime, obviously. And it was, obviously I knew he grew up in a poor background and, he had to grind and make it happen. But just the way that he approached his life and how family focused he was, it really was inspiring, to say the least. Like his whole being, like he wasn't even going to play in the NBA if his family couldn't come over. So it was just crazy. And the way that we think of if you don't work, you don't eat. It's a totally different mentality when it comes to the way that he was brought up and the way that, what I'm saying? Like he had to actually deal with. So his upbringing, he was raised in Greece. For people who don't know, he was born, or no, some of his family was born in Nigeria. They came over to Greece, struggling. They had to basically sell every single day. They had to find like sunglasses, different things like that, sell it to tourists. They were illegal in Greece because you couldn't just get citizenship. They did not end up getting citizenship or visas until Giannis actually got drafted into the NBA. So that was like 18 years of him just living there illegally, scared. They went through a lot of different things, but to literally have to go outside and sell every single day so you can eat, that's a different type of mentality. Most people wouldn't be able to survive in a mentality like that. And when you're an entrepreneur or business owner, you really have to tap into that. You have to be like, you know what? I'm not going to stop. I have to keep going until I get this sell. I can't just sit here on my hands and be like, everything is cool. And one of the things that he spoke on, he was like, I'm not as talented as, Jokic, or I can't make it look as easy as Luka. Only thing I really have is just my hard work and my ethic. And I know that I'm doing it for my family. So every single day I go hard and every single day I make it happen. So I just thought that was fascinating. I wanted to share that to kind of start off the live, because a lot of people don't have that mentality. They don't understand what it means to go hungry or to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like even in America, we have food stamps and all these different things, but to literally have no option to eat unless you sold something. And one of the lines they said, it was like, I wasn't even selling to make a profit. I was literally selling to be able to eat. That's just, that mentality, it shows you why he's been successful in the league, where a lot of people haven't, in AAU circuits and everything like that. Because it's not easy, man. It's not easy if you have that sort of mentality. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, I mean, it's because it's one of them things that most people don't get. They just think it's sweet. They feel like, oh, I made it, I'm good. And when you come from like a sweet background where everything is kind of easy and handed to you, or people are praising you and stuff like that, you tend to, unless you really have that killer instinct, you tend to kind of back away from a lot of that stuff. So when I saw that, I was like, you know what, Giannis, you got my respect, bro. Like 100%. It's because this obviously he's an NBA champion, he's MVP. But for me, when I look at stuff like that, it's not necessarily the occupation, it's the mentality. Like, how hard are they working? What are their morals? Like, things like that, like things that I can actually pull from. Obviously, I'm not going to be an NBA superstar or anything like that. So that doesn't motivate me like, oh, I can one day be this. But someone's mentality, that's what motivates me. So when I watched the documentary while I was working earlier, I was like, man, that was inspiring to me. And just to see the raw emotion that he had about his family and how serious he took that. His brothers and his mom and his dad, he was so serious. He said, you know what, I don't even want to play in the NBA if you can't get my family over here. Because he was there for like 6 months or almost a year or whatever before his family was able to come. And he was so passionate about that. So that type of mentality and how hungry and, you know what I'm saying? Like that drive and that fire, that's what excites me, because it's like those are the things that I can pull from my own journey. So I want to share that. If you guys haven't watched that, definitely check out Giannis's new documentary. Super dope. All right. So I want to get into, this is more so like entrepreneurs, business owners, things of that nature. I want to get into core markets. A lot of people, they'll come up with an idea and they don't understand what their core market is. And when I say core market, there are 3 core markets. So you're going to either help people in these 3 ways. These are the 3 reasons people are going to buy from you. You're either going to help them with their relationship or their love or their goals, stuff like that. That's a big bubble. You're going to help them when it comes to their finance, their wealth. So you're going to help them, obviously get more money, or you're going to help them when it comes to health. Like, so you're going to help them get healthier. You're going to help them with love or relationships. You're going to help them with money. Those are the 3 core markets. So your business somehow, some way is going to relate to that market. For example, they have sub markets too, obviously. So you can say, okay, with health, I'm looking at helping people diet. And then under that, there's sub markets. So it's a branch of it, but the 3 big branches that you're going to actually want to make sure your business is relating to is those 3. Those are the 3 that's going to make you money. So for someone who, I guess, like they gave an example of a Gillette commercial, right? So when people are like, hey, what core market is Gillette in? Like the razor company. And a lot of people were making a lot of guesses. And you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys guess. What core market do you feel like Gillette is in? And that's the razor company. So is it in health? Is it in wealth? Is it in relationship? or I love like what core market do you guys feel like that Gillette is in, the razor company, the shaving company? And comment below. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, and then I'll basically break it down and tell you what market they're actually in. If you guys have companies and you want to talk through those, we can do that as well, because that'd be a lot of fun. I love just talking business, just going over it. So if you guys have any idea what core market out of the three I just named, comment below. Let me know. So there's love relationships, there's health, and then there's uh wealth. So those three core markets. All right, cool. So T says health. All right, bet. And this is the thing too. So as you guys are answering, this is the thing. Even if your product or your service doesn't fit in a certain bubble, you can market to a certain bubble. So you can market to a certain core audience or a core market. So for example, so Evans, all right, bet you said health. All right, cool. So what they did was they actually showed a Gillette commercial, right? And when they showed the commercial, this is what the commercial showed. And this is when everyone was able to be like, oh, okay, I know exactly what it is. But basically in the commercial, what happens is the person is shaving, right? Then after the person is shaving, they go on a date. And then they come home with the girl and clean shaved, everything is good. So what they were selling was relationship, love. They were selling that, which is crazy because you know what I mean? That wasn't what I was initially thinking. I thought health as well. When I first thought, I was like, oh, it's health, clean groom, stuff like that. But what they were actually selling and what they were gravitating towards was like relationships with all their advertisements. So if you do have a core market, that's what you would look at. You would look at, okay, which bubble am I going to advertise towards? Which bubble is my business going to direct to? And with Gillette, for example, they were directing towards that. So I thought it was kind of neat. I thought that was kind of cool. So for my company, for example, like with National Website Designs, I would be basically looking at helping people with wealth, making money. So, hey, this is an avenue where you can make money easier as opposed to with Cash App and things of that nature. So when I do my advertising, it's to get out of just like the red sea that they call it or whatever. I would just niche down and advertise more specifically towards a particular market when it comes to people that want to make money, but make money online with their websites. So that's kind of like how I would break that down. So it's the same thing that you can do with your business. If you know, like, hey, I'm selling this essentially. So when someone says, I want to start a new product line, and let's say that product line is, give me an example. Give me an example of like a product line that someone can start. That a lot of people start. Let's do t-shirts, just for example. So with t-shirts, you have to have a market. So if you say, hey, you know what, mine doesn't fit in wealth, it doesn't fit in health, and it doesn't fit in relationships. It does, and you can explain how it does. Or what you can do is you can just say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to market to this. So with t-shirts, you can also market to relationships. You can walk out, same exact thing like Gillette does, and say, hey, I'm clean, I'm crisp, I have this outfit on, it looks really nice. These t-shirts, really match the vibe. I went home with the lady, right? So now you're selling love, you're selling relationships, same exact thing, right? And that's what you could do. So that t-shirt business now fits into that. Same thing with like perfume, cologne. You could say all that fits into that. Or you can do with like health and wealth, right? So with health, like we were talking about earlier, you can say, okay, there's so many different ways you can scale it. So for your core audience, you can say, you know what, I want to focus on helping people diet, but I want to help them diet with the paleo diet, or I want to help them intermittent fasting, and you become the subject matter expert on that. So when you think of a core market, right? A long time ago when all this was established and all these different things were here, these core markets were considered blue oceans. That's the terminology that they use. Blue oceans basically means that it's not shark infested. It's not a ton of people that are in these markets currently. So what happens is, as more people come and more people get into it, it becomes like diluted. So they call it like a red sea because it's like a bloody thing. There's so many sharks there now and it's a ton of people. And what happens is each core market has a category leader a lot of times, and it's hard to overcome the category leader. So the sharks are normally fighting over the last 20%. So 80% is going to be what 80% is going to be like the category leader. So you're really fighting over the last 20% if you're going to try to stay in that same core market, essentially. What's good, bro? Appreciate you tapping in, Eli. Eli popped in. What's good, brother? So if 80% is already taken, you're fighting over 20%. Your goal is to let me make a sub market of that. So if the sub market would be dieting, for example, right? Then of health, So health, then you go to dieting. So now you have to niche down even further because now dieting is such a diluted, it's not a blue ocean anymore. It's flooded with a bunch of people that are selling the same exact things. So now you're looking at, okay, how can I go from a sub market from that down? So now that's what we were talking about earlier. It was like the paleo diet or the intermittent fasting people or the people who say eat one meal a day, and you become a subject matter expert in that, and you make that your blue ocean. So now you're the content, expert or the person that's leading that category because you created a new opportunity for someone. So I know I kind of broke that down in like a weird way. I kind of started from the end and went back up and then went back. But let me know if you guys understood that, if that made sense, the way that I broke that down, if you guys understood like what I was saying there, because essentially what you're doing is you're niching down, but you're niching down in a way that it makes sense for your business and what you're trying to accomplish. And it's something you're actually interested in that you could passionately talk about for a long period of time. And a lot of times you want to get into a marketplace of something that someone else has already pioneered, someone else is already there. And instead of trying to improve on what they're doing, you're basically just creating a new opportunity for that person. So one of the things a lot of people try to do is they try to just straight improve on whatever the technology or whatever the product is that someone is selling. So they say, you know what, I'm going to give you a 5% better solution to what you already have. So now you're trying to overcome everything that they have going on, their entire structure, all the pain points that they had before. And when you do that, you make it harder for yourself to actually make the sell. So what you want to do actually is you want to create a quote unquote new opportunity for someone. So they gave examples of this of like Dove, for example. So Dove, what Dove did was Dove was a soap. Obviously, everybody knows it now. But at the time, Dove was trying to break into the soap industry. So when it was trying to break into the soap industry, it wasn't able to do it. It was tough. It was a tough market. They hired this marketing guy. The marketing guy came on and he basically came up with the slogan of it's not soap, it's Dove, basically saying, hey, it's a new opportunity for you to be cleaner. And then it also said, it's a moisturizer and it also cleans. So they were able to rebrand and change the whole trajectory and present it to the customer base as a new opportunity to where people were like, you know what, I'm not getting soap, I'm getting Dove. Even though, obviously it's soap, but that's not the way they framed it. They framed it as a new opportunity. And that was a whole new marketplace now. So if you think of like other companies who have done the same thing, like ClickFunnels, now people sales funnels are a category in itself. There's a ton of sales funnel people now, but now ClickFunnels has become that. So that's kind of the mindset when it comes to core markets and things of that nature. So let me know if you guys got that, if that segment, what questions you guys have, and we could dive into it more. Or I'll go on to the next topic. So that's pretty much all I have for core marketplace. Do you guys have businesses that you're currently running that you have questions about that you want me to dive in deeper and kind of break down? Or what did you guys think about that segment before I move forward? Here we go. Just got that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for tapping in. All right. All right, cool. No questions on that. Bet. All right. So I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right. So cool. So we're going to tap into we're going to tap into automation. We're going to start on automation. So when you guys are looking at your business, and someone asked me this a long time ago, and it might have been brother Eli, it might have been him, but if you got 1,000 clients right now, would you be able to handle all 1,000? And when that question was asked to me, it was one of those things that made me pause, and I really had to think like, wow, if I got 1,000 clients today, could I handle all 1,000? And that's where automation comes into play. So you have to systemize your business to a point to where no matter the amount of clients that come in, you're able to, get it. Because it would suck if you got 1,000 clients today at whatever price point your packages are, and you're not able to take care of them. So that's one of the things that I always try to tell people to, really pay attention to. I appreciate you tapping in, Vodka. Thank you. I appreciate that. But that's one of the things I always tell people to pay attention to. So if you got 1,000 clients today, how would you handle them? Think about that. Would you schedule them all out? Would you be able to handle all the appointments, the calls? Would you be able to break it all down? Like, how would that work for you? So for me, I immediately went to automation, AI. So if like 1,000 people called today, they would all get introduced to the AI. The AI will walk them through everything. It would talk to them and answer their basic questions, and it would help schedule them for appointments. and it would just go through the list. Okay, all right, go ahead and schedule. Boom, we'll have appointment schedules for the next month of people just jumping on calls. But then that's not the same when it comes to certain products. So you may just sell out of products. If 1,000 people came today, you might sell out. You may not have the inventory to help them out. So that's one of the things that when I thought about that, I was like, you know what? You always want to have something that if you had 1,000 people come in today and try to buy something, that you'd be able to service those people, even if it isn't your main business, but having something else that you can give them. Like, so for me, for example, if 1,000 people wanted to learn about business and they say, hey, Raheem, I really want to learn about business or whatever. And I see your whole schedule is booked up because so many people are, reaching out. What can I do? I have an ebook that they can literally download. 1,000 people can go today and download my ebook, and it'll tell them everything they need to know from A to Z, starting a business, LLCs, EIN, the whole gist. It'll literally break it all down for them. So 1,000 people can get it right now today. And it wouldn't everything will work, nothing would crash because it's automated, it's digital, and it's a system. So they will automatically get an email, automatically be delivered. So having that as our alternative to what you're currently doing is what's going to really, really help you propel and get to the next level when it comes to your business. So that's one of the things that I always try to touch on, and I always try to think of scenarios. I call it yellow padding. And I would challenge you to do the same thing. So just get, yellow pad out or a piece of paper, whatever, and write out like scenarios. Like, all right, if I got 1,000 people, what would happen? If my goal is $10,000 a month, or my goal is $100,000 a month, or my goal is $1,000,000 a month, what are the numbers? How does it break down? How much do I have to make each day to make this happen? How many clients would I have to make this happen? And that all goes down to, okay, well, if I had this many clients, then you just start brainstorming, you start thinking about other things. So that's the focus when it comes to automation, just making sure that you can break different things down. So when I say automation, I want you guys to look at things like Zapier. I want you to look at things as Chat GPT, OpenAI, those type of things when I'm talking about that. Okay. So that's automation. I wanted to hit on that. Let me know if you guys have any questions or any thoughts when it comes to automation. And then we're going to hit on content creation, because content creation is an incredible tool. You've seen people showcase that they're making tons of money in all these different places like YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. All these places are getting bonuses and getting paid out. But I want to talk about just the process of content creation and staying consistent with content creations to get payouts in general. I've been on the content creation ground for a long time. I've done a lot of different things. So when I break it down, I'm just going to give you examples of what I've found throughout it. Okay. So if you guys have TikTok, if you got YouTube, if you got any of these different platforms, I want you to think about it as a place that you can literally just hop on. Instead of looking at it like I need to make content, you're just documenting what you're already doing. So for example, Vodka that popped on, she has a shoe store. So with her shoe store, she can say, hey, you know what? I just got inventory and I'm ordering inventory. I'm putting the display of the inventory up, things of that nature. And that's her documenting the process, literally having a camera and say, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And that's content. So you're not actively thinking, oh, I got to make content. You're just literally just documenting what you're already doing anyway. If you're in a car driving somewhere, that's content. That's stuff that people gravitate towards. It's stuff that people jump on. If you guys just saw the other, I think yesterday or whatever, a lady did like a 50-part episode thing on TikTok of just her talking about whatever she has going on in her life. And people just jumped on it. It was crazy. She got millions of views. She has tons of people reaching out to her now just by telling her story and just recording it. And that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing. That's what you want. You want those type of things, but that doesn't happen if you're not obedient to what God has already told you to do and you're consistent in putting out that content. So by her just being obedient and doing that, now she has Volvo reaching out to her and all these different places. I haven't actually seen the clips. I wasn't interested like that, but I did see the results of it. And you know how my mind thinks. I think of, okay, well, this happened. These are the results. What can I take from that? What can I learn from those results that, this person was able to get? And those are the lessons that I got. It was just like, be obedient to what God has told you to do. And your testimony or whatever you're going through in life isn't for you all the time. It's for other people. It's to motivate us, to inspire other people. It's to help other people. And in this case, it blessed her for sharing her story. So that's the same thing for you. I'm sure you guys have plenty of stories that you can share, plenty of things that you can help people with just by sharing those things. So on YouTube, for example, I'm gonna give you guys one of the things that I've been doing lately. Obviously, I'll hop on here, I'll go live. I've been doing this for like what, last 3-4 weeks now. I'll hop on, I'll go live, I'll talk, I'll chop it up with you guys, we'll have a good time. And afterwards, I'll upload this clip to Opus Clip. What Opus Clip does is it actually breaks down the entire video and highlights different parts of it. So it says, okay, this 30-second clip was good, this minute clip was good. And then from that point, what it'll do is it'll give me like titles and everything for each of the videos. And it'll clip it up and it'll do captions. And it'll also do B-roll. So if you see videos and you see them kind of cutting away to like different parts as that person's talking, that's what it's doing. It's doing that entire process for me. So then all I do at that point is I go through, I edit the clips, and then I schedule them to be posted on different platforms. So from TikTok, Instagram, it's all scheduled. There's nothing that I actually have to go and manually do. But what I found is that on YouTube, they like it if you manually upload it, it seems like, as opposed to scheduling. It seems like I get more of a reaction or more traction, more exposure when I actually manually upload that. So that's a tip I would give you guys. Like download the clip and manually upload it to YouTube Shorts. And with YouTube Shorts, it has to be under a minute. And what you do is you just add like 3 tags. Don't add like a ton of tags. Add 3 tags that are relevant to your video and do a title that's kind of like, I don't want to say clickbaity, but I've noticed that when you put stuff that's kind of like alluring where people want to kind of click on it, that's the videos that have done the best for me. That's the ones I've got the best views for. And then also that your cover picture is something that's kind of like popping, is relevant. Because with shorts, yes, they're going to show it just when someone's scrolling their shorts reel. But what happens is a lot of times, if you've ever been on YouTube, you'll see that they'll just have like short clips there, like 4 different images of short clips. So when you click on something, it'll pop on and say, okay, bet I like this video. Let me go ahead and watch this because I like the thumbnail and I like the title and I want to find out more. So I did a video the other day and it was like, I can't believe Terrence Howard made this salary for a movie. And that was and that clip was based off of the last live we did where we were talking about Terrence Howard, and we're talking about the fact that he made like $12,000 for Hustle and Flow, which was crazy to me. And everybody was like, yo, that's insane. I can't believe he only made $12,000. And that was a clip from that. So when I posted it, a lot of people wanted to look on and see, and then people commented and they were like, yo, I can't believe he made that amount. So it was one of those things that kind of popped on. We got some comments. Let's see what we got. Love being able to schedule the uploads. Learned about that as an admin in my lock group. Exactly. I mean, that's just great. Oh, what's up, Tone, bro? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, Ash, like that's one of the things that people just kind of sleep on. They sleep on the ability to schedule. But I think that also kind of goes back to like just the psyche of most people. They don't like to schedule ahead. They like to do things as it comes, as opposed to like actually scheduling ahead. Like I try to schedule my post out for at least 2-3 weeks now, especially with the amount of content that I have. And just like, for example, this is so far, I'm on this clip right here for about 30 minutes. So with this, I'll probably get like 20 clips off of this one video. And then I'll chop that up and then I'll post it. I'll add the captions, the B-roll, everything like that. And then now that's content that I can post for like the next 20, 30 days. And then that builds up my views. It builds up my engagement. And then from there, they reward you when you start posting a lot, especially on places like TikTok. They love that you're posting like 2 or 3 times a day. And I have so many clips, I'm able to do that. So that's the same thing you can do. If you got like just any amount of time or whatever, and you're in your car, the car is probably the best place to record. Everybody has a vehicle. It has good acoustics. It usually has good lighting if it's during the day. You can just pull up your phone and just start recording and talking about whatever your day is, whatever's on your mind. If you have thoughts on something that just happened in the world or whatever the case is, share it. Somebody else is going to agree or disagree. And either way, you make a money. So we've seen a lot of content creators that have like crazy negative comments and stuff like that, or opposing things that we're like, yo, we don't really agree with. But those people are making money because a lot of people are commenting, a lot of people are engaging with their content. So that's what I would challenge you to do, is just to take that time to jump on and say, you know what, I'm about to just talk about this. Like with Tone or with Evans or whatever, obviously they do like a lot of different things. But one of the things I've seen them do is they every now and then they do like their cooking things or whatever, where they'll sell meals and stuff like that, and they always sell out. So it doesn't matter for them; they're gonna make money regardless. But if they record that content and post it and stuff like that, like I think Evans has like a cooking page, like those type of things are the things that people really enjoy. They enjoy watching the process of the food being made. Obviously, the final picture they love too, but watching the process, those cuts, people watch that stuff all day and literally just swipe. People watch people just eat food. And that's crazy to me. I can't watch anybody eat food. What's the craziest thing you guys watch? I know for me, like somebody watching somebody eat food is just insane to me. Like I couldn't, I can't do it. Like not on like TikTok and stuff like that. In person, yes, I'm like, you know what? Like they're really enjoying that. But what you call it is it's crazy how to ask for. Think about sharing my son's cancer journey. Are you serious? I had no idea your son. Oh my gosh, man! I'm definitely praying for you, man. I had no idea that that was the case, Ash. Definitely share that journey, and my prayers are definitely with you on that. That's that's crazy. I had no idea. Um, I like watching dogs eat. Terrence, that's ridiculous, bro. Like, I never heard of stuff like that. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Oh, absolutely. And I think that's the most important thing. Like your journey is going to help somebody else. It's going to inspire somebody else. And I said this last time, but you not walking in your purpose basically is robbing other people of the blessing of you. So if that's been put on your heart, God already put that on your heart. Hey man, you've been on top of everything else you've done in your life. Go ahead and add that to the bag, man. Go ahead and start sharing that journey and inspire and help somebody else that's going through something similar. For sure. Let me see. I'm also guilty. I watch Asian people eat at their cuisine. Are you serious? Y'all be wild, boy. I never I've never seen nothing like that, man. Let's see. I know run those people view pay up on TikTok watching those dogs. Eat. What, bruh? What is satisfying? Is it a particular type of dog, or is it just any dog? And you just like watching them eat? Something about the slurping. So they just slurping up all the noodles, and that's what you. Y'all wild, man. They eat their food aggressively. Shoot, some women eat their food aggressively. You need to watch that. Man, y'all are funny, man. Y'all are funny, man. I love coming here and chopping up with you sometimes. But yeah, man, content creation, yo. Content creation. That's that's pretty much what I wanted to hit on with content creation. If you guys have any questions about that when it comes to like just uploading content, trying to be consistent, stuff like that, let me know. One of the tips I give you when it comes to just being consistent with content is just to make it a part of your routine, make it a habit. So when I say that, like get in the habit of recording yourself saying things, just anything random. Even if you're not posting it, just get in the habit of just, pop on, record yourself talking. Hey man, I just had a great day, just ate this breakfast, yada yada. Even if you just post to your stories, just get in the habit of doing that so you can create content, because there's a lot of money out here. And I know nobody is going to turn away money when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, free money, just creating content, something easy that you can do. So that's what I would tell you guys. Hold on, what you say? Just any dog, probably because I love dogs, but I don't know. It tickles a certain part of my brain. Yo, T, you are hilarious, bro. I follow bullies and cane choruses. I'm in the process of that. Oh yeah, T, bro. I'm telling you, man. Like you already know, man. We talked about this a lot, but yo, it's definitely time, bro. It's definitely time. It's your aura is already glowing, bro. You ready for it, man? You ready for it? I'm excited for you on it too. But yeah, so that's it on content creation. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know as we're going through it. But the last thing I wanted to kind of hit on, man, was just obesity rates, man. It's 42% in the United States right now, which is crazy to me. Like I had never thought or fathomed that would be the case. I guess it's projected to be up to 58% by 2035 in the United States alone. I think in the world it's projected to be at 50% obesity. Obesity, which is just like, it's just mind-boggling, man. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Did you guys know those stats? I'm just curious because I'm like, I had no idea that it was like that. I had no idea it was like that, like for real. When it comes to just why do you think that is? Why do you think obesity rate is going up? Some people alluded to processed foods. Some people talked about exercise not being the same. Some people referred to the schedule, the way that kids are fed or they're brought up. Ashley says, "Thank you for sharing the knowledge. Always been proud of you, and I appreciate you for always giving back." Absolutely, man. I truly appreciate it. I really do, because it's something that I'm passionate about, man. Like I really love helping people. Really love giving back, and I hope that the things that I share genuinely helps people, man. Really helps them push over to the next level or inspires them to keep going. Maybe if they're on the last step and they're like, man, you know what? I don't feel like making one more step, and then that word that just comes through me from God, I feel like a lot of times it's just like it pushes them through to the next level. So that's always one of the things that I really appreciate. No, I didn't know that. Healthy food is more expensive. It is. Most times it's not being able to afford the food. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of those things. Like if you go to I noticed that, when we were growing up, stuff was a lot cheaper, obviously. And it's always funny when I say stuff like that because I know we're not like super old, but for me, I'm like, yo, when we were growing up, even though it wasn't healthy, we were able to get a lot of stuff for $1. You know what I mean? Like I was able to get like 4 McDoubles and you know what I'm saying? Like I was able to get a McChicken. I was able to get both. You know what I'm saying? Back then when I ate McDonald's and stuff like that. But now I just see the pricing of everything. Like if you wanted to go out and just get a decent meal anywhere, it's about $10. Like before when we were growing up, I think it was 5. So it's pretty much double. Like it was a $5 meal, you would get everything with it for it's about $10 now when you go most places. Panera bread obviously is expensive. And what is it? Panda Express, that's expensive. Like pretty much any place, you're gonna spend at least 10 something dollars or whatever. And I'm like a pescatarian, so I only eat seafood or fish, shrimp, but I don't eat like grilled stuff a lot of times. So even with that, it's difficult. Like you're gonna pay some money when you have to go out and eat. So a lot of times when I go out, I just be like, you know what? I'm a vegetarian. I don't even want the extra upcharge for the $2 for the shrimp. It ain't worth it. That shrimp ain't gonna make no difference when it comes to my stomach at the end of the day. So let me just get the vegetarian meal. Exactly. We would get all that stuff under $5, man. That was the thing. That was the thing. I feel like with the obesity rate being over 42% right now in the United States, that it comes down to just the lack of physical education. I feel like that's one part of it. I feel like that should be a more important aspect to everything and everybody. Like it should just be one of those things that just, you know what I mean? It's one of those things that everybody just kind of is required to do, especially in their upbringing. And I know some people won't agree with that as much, but I feel like physical education is really important. I also think that with health foods, like you mentioned, the price of it is crazy. I feel like whole food should definitely be cheaper. Like you should be able to get apples and those things, oranges, stuff like that for a better price point. And usually, if you're able to get those, staples, you're good. Like the whole food staples and stuff like that, not the processed foods, obviously. I think that would help a lot. I think education is really important. Like I think people most of the time don't understand what the ramifications is of the type of food that you're putting in your body. So if we had more of an education around that, or people received it more, or if it was more of a conversational topic outside of just like the super fit people, then I think that'll be good too. I think that would help a lot of people. Those are the probably the top 4 or 5 reasons I feel like that. You know what I'm saying? That obesity is probably where it's at right now. But for it to keep increasing is just it's scary, man, because it's a pipeline. So, you get the food, you get the overprocessed food, and then from the overprocessed foods, you go to the doctor. And from the doctor, you go to the medicine and you go to the high blood pressure and hypertension and all those things. And it's just it's crazy, man. I feel bad for people who go through things like that. You know what I mean? Like just that go through that pipeline because it's not their fault. A lot of times they don't know, they don't understand what they're actually doing to their body. They haven't been educated on that. So those are the things that I kind of feel. I feel for people that go through stuff like that. Seriously. Ashley says facts should be the opposite, but there's a hidden agenda, in my opinion, to make us big on purpose. Silent way of killing us. People need to get into growing their food again. Living off the land is what's going to help us. You know what? You spitting. You spitting. They may cut off my live by saying that, but I'm just gonna say you spitting on that one. You spitting on that one because at the end of the day, like you mentioned, it's a pipeline. So if people aren't sick, then obviously there won't be doctors to, the hospitals aren't getting paid, and they spend a lot of money in these hospitals, and then the pharmaceutical companies won't get paid, and they spend a lot of money. So it goes through this whole process to where it's like, you know what? What's the common denominator for people getting sick or people going through this? And a lot of times, you can just kind of relate it back to the food. The food is what's doing it a lot of times. So if you can monitor what you eat and be conscious of those sorts of things, you'll definitely limit the time that you're in the hospital. I'm not saying that that's 100% the case, but it's definitely a factor. It's definitely a factor. But yeah, man, I had a lot of fun today. I feel like we kind of flew through this, man. Like every time I jump on live, I feel like we talk and we just chop it up and we go through this jump so quick because I mean it's already 40 minutes. It's already 40 minutes, and I feel like we've been going, man. We've been chopping it up. It's the same thing I said last time, T. Like, I feel like we just kind of flew through it. But let me see. Spend more time on treatments of the symptoms versus solving the problem. Exactly. That's the biggest thing. They'll give you things to stop the symptoms, but they won't actually solve the initial problem. Got to solve the problem. It's at the core. So I appreciate you guys tapping in as always, man. Thank you from everybody that's on Facebook, everybody that's on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I appreciate you guys all tapping in. I couldn't see Instagram's comments, so if you guys say anything, my bad. It wasn't that I just intentionally didn't acknowledge you. I just couldn't see it. But I appreciate you guys tapping in as always, man. Y'all hold it down. Peace.